Hello and welcome to today's Temple Report. Maybe the last one. Maybe I'll be dead tomorrow. Who knows? Anyway, greetings. God bless you, one and all. Very difficult show we've got today because we're going to have to look at stuff that's a wee bit uncomfortable. I'll just turn this camera a wee bit. Is that it? I think that's slightly better. See a fire extinguisher there, but might need one. Nice seas. Who's in the room? There we are. Westover 1314, how you doing? Ewan Eggerstrom, God bless you, brother. Nick Griffin's in the room. How are you, sir? And Marty BFP. And we have Big John Kopasaki there. Good afternoon to you, sir. So we're going to look at a few things. We were off yesterday because Ireland being Ireland, they take for holidays. So they're off Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Because the Catholics have a thing in the Friday. The Catholics have a thing, the Republicans, communists, on a Saturday. The Sunday is church parades. The Monday is the big, massive Protestant parade, huge thing. And on Tuesday, today, the kids, the junior militiamen, boys and girls, they're all marching in Bangor, the seaside town. They go out for the seaside, so they're all marching today. So 5 days of marching, but this is the beginning of the marching season in this country. It's the beginning of the marching season. But sadly, we've got other things to consider as well. Other things that R.C. Clements there as well. How you doing? Nice to see you. Other things to consider. I don't know what to tackle first. I don't know what to get into this first. And go into some other stuff. But anyway, let's have a word of scripture before we start anything. So let's have a wee read here. We're in Zechariah chapter 14 and verse 1. Hear ye the words of our Lord. Behold, the day of the Lord cometh, and thy spoil shall be divided in the midst of thee. For I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle, and the city shall be taken, and the houses rifled, and the women ravished, and half the city shall go forth into captivity, and the residue of the people shall not be cut off from the city. There you go. Amen. And we know the Lord will add his blessing to this, the public reading of his infallible, inerrant, and inspired word. And the people of God said, Amen. And amen indeed. And, you know, right now as we speak, I don't know if you know this, but Cyprus is a sort of British place. About 30,000 Israelis have turned up on the beaches. They're leaving in pleasure boats, chartered boats from Tel Aviv and Haifa, and they're going to Cyprus because there's 1 million people waiting to get out, trying to get out of Israel. 1 million. 1 million people trying to get out. Patagonia, which is Argentina, has granted visas for 300,000 Israelis. They reckon there's 1 million leaving. The country's only got 9 million people, so that's a huge proportion of the population leaving. And to be fair to the Israelis, can you blame them? Imagine living in a situation where air raid sirens are going off 3 and 4 times a day, and you're having to run to the shelters with your kids or being worried about them because they're at school, and just a total nightmare. 3 or 4 times a day running to shelters. And there's bombs dropping, and there's, oh my goodness. And it's constant for the last 5 weeks now. Constant. Israel has took a hell of a battering, obviously been hidden by the Western media. And, serious penalties for anybody reporting on it in Israel. Serious penalties, 5 years in jail and all this. But it's taking a right beating. And the Iranians have been very successful targeting top military people, bases and all the rest of it. And, of course, in the Middle East right now, there is not one single functioning US base. Not one. I guarantee you Fox News is telling you that. None of the bases are functioning. And about 2,500, 3,000 troops arrived back at Fort Bragg the other day just carrying their backpacks, evacuated out. It's getting crazy. But anyway, we seen this the other day, which I thought was insanity. But anyway, it gets worse. Tuesday will be Power Plant Day and Bridge Day, all wrapped up in one. In Iran, there will be nothing like it. Open the effing straits, you crazy bees, or you'll be living in hell. Just watch. Praise be to Allah. What is that? What is that? What even is that? I mean, what is that? This is really serious stuff. This is the President of the United States of America. A high office, a worthy office, which represents the people of the United States of America. He's also the leader, well, was the leader of the free world. This language is bizarre. And this was done on Sunday, Easter Sunday. Effing and jeffing. And then praise Allah. What are you talking about? What is going on? The rest of the world, I don't think Americans get it. How devastating this is for the rest of the world. We're looking at this thinking, are you for real? Are you actually for real? Is there something wrong here? We thought Joe Biden was mad as a hatter. But this behaviour is out there. It's just out there. And scary stuff. And the bottom line is, Iran's got the entire West by the proverbials. You only need one nutter with an RPG to keep the Strait of Hormuz shut. It's as simple as that. But then it gets worse. Then we get this. A whole civilization will die tonight, never to be brought back again. Now, wait a minute. Let me just get off that again. I just want to stop you there. The whole reason we were told of the actions in Iran was to destroy their nuclear facilities, which Trump said in July had been completely and absolutely annihilated. He also said yesterday that it's been absolutely, and I quote, annihilated. So, okay, so that objective has been achieved. If that was the objective, you're going to destroy something you said you'd already destroyed. But anyway, let's just say we believe you. And it's nothing to do with Israel, Netanyahu. Let's just say that. Let's just pretend that. So it's done. Move out. Go away. Go home. Stop it. It's done. And of course, the whole mantra of the war was, we're going to free the people of Iran from this horrible junta that's in power, this dictatorship, which replaced the dictatorship of the Shah, who we put in Britain and America, put the Shah and deposed a lawfully elected leader who nationalised the oil industry. So Britain, mainly Britain, it was nothing to do with America, and so Britain couldn't steal the wealth of the country. And we went to the CIA and said, could you help us overthrow the lawfully elected government and put the Shah in? So we put the Shah in. About, the Shah's great. Tommy Robinson saying, why don't we bring back the Shah? A lot of American commentators, right-wingers, are saying, bring back the Shah. The Shah ran a massive dictatorship, far worse than the IRG, whatever you call them there, far worse than the Ayatollahs, killed more people, imprisoned more people, brutalised more people. So when the people rose up and get rid of him, because he was imposed by the CIA and the MI5, and they had the Iranian Revolution, yes, that wasn't good either, but we caused it because we interfered in their country in 1950-something and deposed a democratically, legally, properly elected leader who nationalised the oil industry, and we went in and deposed him and installed a puppet king. I didn't think Americans liked imperialism and kings and all that, but we installed a king, the Shah, and he was brutal, corrupt, ran a dictatorship. And of course, the people didn't like it, and they got more and more extreme in their religious views. And then you had the revolution in 1979. So, but the trouble is, with a lot of Americans, they only look back to 79. Oh, the hostage crisis, look what they'd done. Yeah, they didn't like America because America deposed their elected government in 1956 or something and put in a puppet king. We need to be grown up about this and look, we have caused all of this from day one. All of it. We've caused all of it. If we hadn't have deposed their leader, the 79 Islamic Revolution wouldn't have happened. Simple as that. So we live with these consequences, and now we've got one. Anyway, it gets worse. So we were told we're going to need to free the people from this horrible small regime that's controlling 93 million people. Now, Mr. Trump is saying he's going to destroy an entire civilization. Let that sink in, Ian. Let that sink in. The last person who tried to destroy civilizations was Genghis Khan. Genghis Khan, the devil incarnate. But now the president of America. A week ago, he was saying, we need to free the people of Iran. Rise up, people of Iran. Rise up, be free. You'll never have another opportunity. Today, he's going to destroy an entire civilization. Listen, a whole civilization will die tonight. Really? What are you going to use? Nukes? Because how are you going to wipe out 93 million people in this civilization? Nuclear weapons is the only way. And if you use nuclear weapons, China and Russia will nuke you. And it'll never to be brought back again. I don't want that to happen, but probably will. However, now we have complete and total regime change, really, where different, smarter and less radicalized minds prevail, maybe something revolutionary, wonderful can happen. Who knows? We will find out tonight. One of the most important moments in the long and complex history in the world, 47 years of extortion, corruption, and death. Yes, but by them, but it was no better under the Shah that we put in, remember? Anyway, that's nonsense. So I'll tell you what I think's happening here. The deal's already been done. There is no change of regime. There's no change of regime. This is a face-saving exercise, and probably tonight we'll maybe get an announcement that there's a peace deal. Because Trump has no way out of this. Do you understand? Iran is a sophisticated country. They've proved they're more than capable. And I don't know if you get this in America, but they've hit every single American base in the Middle East. They've hit them. They've hit all the bases in Israel. They've hit the nuclear facilities in Israel. They've hit the refinery plants in Israel and many other countries. But the West isn't getting this. GB News, the right-wing news here, won't report on it. They are more than holding their own, and they're keeping their best weapons to last. So, if this goes wrong tonight, and I'm wrong, and the deal's not already been done, and Trump's just trying to save face and be macho and say, look, I threatened them and they caved in, and I hope that is the case. But if it isn't the case, and Trump goes ahead with this, and I don't know how you would wipe out an entire civilization. I don't even know what that means. But anyway, just say they go completely mental and really blow up all the infrastructure, the factories, the bridges, the railways. Israel's put out a thing today that nobody in Iran is to go on the trains in the next 48 hours. So they're always going to attack these things. Now, let me just point out to you, in international treaties that America has signed up to, we're not talking about the International Criminal Court, which America didn't sign up to, we're talking about the Geneva Convention and other conventions and treaties that America has signed up to. Attacking civilian infrastructure is a war crime. It's a war crime. Now, think how many Croats and Serbians have went to prison for the rest of their life for war crimes. But America's always been too powerful, it wouldn't happen. But in a few years' time, you'll probably have a Democrat government, and they will not be inclined to protect the majors, the generals, the admirals, and all the rest of it who took part in these actions, and Air Force people who took part in it. And they could well be cited for war crimes. And that means your assets are seized worldwide. You can't travel worldwide. Like Putin and all his generals, they can't leave Russia. And this is a real possibility that this could happen. A real possibility. And people say, we don't care. Well, you should care. This is nutty. This is madness. We're going to wipe out an entire civilization. I don't have the education or the vocabulary to describe how utterly insane that rhetoric is. It's completely insane. And for a country that's completely destroyed and mangled, they're doing no bad job of still defending themselves. This is madness. I think Trump has got himself into a corner, mainly led there by Benjamin Netanyahu, Paula White, and the multi-billionaires who bankrolled Trump's election. I think they've pushed the man into a corner, and he's no idea how to get out of it. No idea. And the idea of mighty America saying, okay, let's talk, is unthinkable, because Americans have got it in their brain that the people who live in that part of the world are all useless, idiotic, semi-illiterate, barbarian savages. What's true in some countries is not true in all of them. And Iran is a very sophisticated, very advanced, very intellectual country. Been going for almost 6,000 years. So I think this hubris, this arrogance that these are all, sand monkeys, has led to this situation where you've took on a foe that is extremely well armed and has been helped by Russia and China. And that's difficult. So, I don't know. It's madness. I've never seen anything like it in all my life. Let me see what we've got here. Praise be to Allah. That's bananas. I never heard anything like it. Try to give Jewish message instead of Easter message, I'm sure. Yeah, we invaded to stop the Iranian regime killing civilians. Now we're bombing and killing thousands. It's crazy. It's just stupid. Just think about it. Just let it sink into your head. This is madness. Yeah, it's craziness. It's craziness. It's craziness beyond any comprehension. It really is. It's craziness beyond any comprehension. And that thing that happened the other day when all those transport planes were bummed out and helicopters all wrecked, there's far more to that than meets the eye. Far more to that. And it was in Isfahan. Now, I don't know if you know the geography of Iran. Isfahan is nowhere near the southwest corner where the airmen went missing. It's down here. Isfahan's here. And that's where the nuclear stuff is in Isfahan. So, a cynic could say that it was an operation by special forces to try and get that uranium, and it didn't work out very well, and there was a lot of casualties because the airmen are down here, like just say Louisiana, and Isfahan is up there in what do you call that place? Where's Paul Jarvis from? It's the same distance. What do you call that? Missouri. So the airmen have bailed out over Louisiana, and these special ops, for some reason or other, were in Missouri. Do you understand? I think the lies that's been told to the public are incredible, but nobody seems to have any idea of or any inclination of looking into them and checking out for themselves. Those planes and everyone that were downed and burnt out and all the rest of it the other day, nowhere near where the pilots went missing. Nowhere near it. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, maybe 1,000 odd miles away from it. So there was something going on there. My personal view is they tried to do a special operation regarding the nuclear facilities, and it didn't go down very well. But they don't want to tell the American public that. It's just no toll. But that's what I think's happened. I'm pretty sure that's what's happened. But anyway, we'll find out as time goes on. It really is scary stuff. Yeah, it's very strange. It's all very strange. Everyone's very strange what's going on. But here's the big thing. And I've heard even some of your people say this, and I don't understand. I can't understand the lack of brain power involved in this. So we've shut off China's oil supply from Venezuela. And by the way, that new Venezuela field is the biggest in the world, but it's a different type of oil. It's almost like tar. It's almost impossible to refine and make anything out of it apart from bitumen. But anyway, so China was getting a lot of their oil from Venezuela, and a lot of their other oil from Iran. So we strangled them. And I've heard the Americans say, that's them snookered. Okay, if somebody did that to America or Britain or any other sovereign nation and said that you're now condemned to poverty and to be the way you were 100 years ago, your industry's finished, mass unemployment, mass starvation, everything, would we accept it? Of course we wouldn't. And neither will China or Russia. We've effectively, and I don't know if you know this, but we're sinking Russian tankers off the coast of Africa. We are seizing Russian tankers in the Irish Sea, in the North Atlantic. We're doing this. We're strangling Russia and strangling China. But they're no wee people. They're no small boys. They're big boys. And they're not going to allow themselves to be destroyed without a war by America. Just let that sink into you. It's not going to happen. China and Russia are big countries. China is on the boom economics. They're not going to allow their whole society to be flung back to the 1940s because America's choked their oil off. That is not going to happen. Anybody who thinks it's going to happen is a lunatic. And they're big boys. America cannot push China, because it'll be a China, Russia, North Korea alliance. And who's America's alliance? Nobody, because everybody in Europe's been assaulted. Plus, we're useless. We've no armies in Europe. So it'll be America against all of these people. Not cool. Not cool at all. And these people have got more ballistic missiles than America's got. They have more nuclear weapons than America's got. So if this really gets ugly, this isn't going to end well. These are big people. These are like on the same level as America. America ain't going to take these people on. Not a chance. Well, they're not going to take them on and win. Nobody's going to win. You cannot win in that situation. But let's have a look at some of the figs. Here is, I think I've deleted some. I was trying to keep anyway. Oh, I did. Oh, dear. Anyway. I mean, there's nuclear weapons. People just hold nuclear weapons. And by the way, the Chinese one is regarded to be about a quarter of what they've really got because they're secretive. So Russia's got the most, 5,000. America's got 5,000. Russia, they say, has got 400. It's not true. They've got far more than that now. France is two or 300. Britain's a couple of hundred. But I would be almost guaranteed that France and Britain and these other countries will not get involved in it. Why would you? North Korea will definitely get involved in it. Israel will get involved in it. India won't get involved in it. Pakistan might get involved in it. So America is well outgunned on the nuclear front. Well outgunned. And if you go for just intercontinental ballistic missiles, normal ones without nuclear warheads, America's outgunned by a factor of about 5-1. If you go in troops out, America's outnumbered 3-41. It's nonsense. The whole thing is nonsense. America cannot strangle China and Russia and expect them to roll over and say, okay, we'll just turn the lights off. That's our country's finished. Because without oil, your country's finished. Your country's finished. Without oil, you're finished. So why would China allow that to happen? Why would Russia allow that to happen? So this thing in Iran is far bigger than you think. This is far bigger. This really is a proxy war. This is America trying to knock Russia and China out the game and using Iran as the proxy. That is not going to happen. And anybody who even remotely in their wildest dreams, and it would be a dream, wouldn't it? It'd be a great dream for all of us if China and Russia would go away, but it's not going to happen. But anybody who thinks that could happen, you're just not living in the real world. You're not living in the real world. Do you know why Japan entered the war and bombed Pearl Harbor? Because of sanctions. We sanctioned Japan. Their society was ready to collapse because of the sanctions that we, not just America, everybody, Europe and the Allies had imposed on Japan. So Japan had no alternative but to enter the war and bomb Pearl Harbor. Simple as that. That's what will force China and Russia into a corner. If this happens tonight and Trump wipes out huge swathes of Iran, the game's up. The game is up. Russia and China, for their national survival, cannot allow America to win this. And they won't. And I don't know why people cannot get this into their skulls. This is not John Wayne. This is not gung-ho, yeah. All the West has fought up until now is tin pot, wee silly countries. Do you know somebody said to me today, well, we've done all right in Venezuela. Are you serious? Venezuela? The local militia in this town could have beat Venezuela, for goodness sake. Behave yourself. We fought Afghan. We couldn't beat Afghanistan. They're a bunch of bearded weirdos. The heaviest weapon they've got is RPGs and AK-47s. We couldn't beat them. We couldn't beat them. And we're taking on a sophisticated country with the help of North Korea, China, and America. They've been piling weapons in there the last few years. Piling them in. I just don't understand it. I do not understand this. And for the president to be saying we're going to destroy, let's have a look at that again. A whole civilization will die tonight. What? What kind of talk is that? A whole civilization will die tonight. Is this the civilization you went to war for, to protect the people from being killed? The Iranian regime kills their own people. So we are now going to enter this and help them out by killing them all. Killing them all. What is this? What is this? This is not sensible. Anyway, there's the man himself. This other idiot. Look, wars and futures have been planned here in Israel. He's right. He's 100% right. Donald Trump has been sucked into this. I still like Donald Trump. I'm going to tell you that. His mother was a good Scots woman, fine woman. I still like Donald Trump. But he has been led by the nose into this most outrageous position that I don't know how he's going to get himself out of. But I tell you what, whatever happens tonight, whether America wipes out Iran or doesn't wipe out Iran, I don't know how you can wipe out a country that's almost the same size as America, by the way. I'll just check that. Sammy, check the square miles of America and the square miles of Iran. It's no far off the same size. How can you wipe that out? But whatever happens, the American hegemony is now gone. And I don't think Americans know what that means. It means, like what happened to us after the Second World War, our empire finished, our influence started to go down very quickly. And by the 60s and 20 years, we were nothing like we used to be. That's exactly what's happening now in America. Their hegemony is gone because the Gulf states who relied on America, they allowed them to put their bases there because they were promised absolute protection. Hasn't worked. Every single base has been hit. Every single oil refinery has been damaged in some way or another in every single Gulf state. So it doesn't work. So why would you want America there? They're a big target. But how much bigger?
America covers roughly 3.8 million square miles, where Iran covers 636,000.
America's about 4 times the size of Iran, actually, but America's a very big place. So it's still a huge place. You know, it's 10, 12 states. So this is the big problem we're facing here, and nobody seems to be taking this seriously. It's almost like the Super Bowl. For Americans, this is like the Super Bowl. This ain't the Super Bowl. And enough damage has been done now that nothing will ever be the same. America's hegemony is gone. And people are saying, well, we don't care because we'll just keep America itself. A lot of the world will be very glad of that. But how will that going to go? So you'll have the Kingdom of America, which will consist of America and maybe the influence in South America, but there'll be no influence anywhere else in the world. And Canada's already talking about joining the EU. This is a big game changer. Now, I personally think it's probably a good thing if America just kept itself to itself and left the world to its own devices. I honestly think if I was an American, that's what I would want. And let Europe and let the Middle East and let them all do what they bloody want. Let them all fight, argue, bomb each other to their heart's content and take nothing to do with it. I think that'd be a good thing. Because the alternative isn't working. The alternative isn't working. If you look at the damage that's been done in that part of the world the last 20 years by Western interference. We interfered in Afghanistan. What happened? Now we've got the Taliban running the country. Just hear me out. We interfered in Iraq. Now we have ISIS and all these other crazed, supercharged terrorists running about in that country. We interfered in Syria. Get rid of Assad. Now we have the guy who used to run ISIS or one of the Al-Qaeda fronts. Now is the president of that country. He was in Britain last week meeting the king. Can you believe it? We get rid of Gaddafi. We interfered in Libya. Now there's 3 different forms of Al-Qaeda, ISIS warlords running that country. We interfered in Somalia. Now we have Al-Shabaab terrorist jihadis running that country. So it's not worked once. Not once. Not in one single occasion has Western interference made things better. It's made it infinitely worse and made the world a far more dangerous place. That's a fact. That's not the opinions of Jim Dawson. That is fact. These are historical realities. Afghan, disaster. Syria, disaster. Iraq, disaster. Somalia, a disaster. All of them. All of them. Disasters. Total disasters. And, you know, we need to, when do we stop? Well, I think it stops now. I think whatever happens tonight, whether Trump levels Iran or he doesn't, I think the die is set now. I think the die is set. France is refusing to allow American airplanes to fly over their airspace. So is Spain. So Americans now have to go all the way around, come out of Britain. Britain's still doing the bombers. They're coming out of Britain and having to go all the way around that way to get around. This has never been seen before. This is unprecedented, and it won't get any better. And America threatening people in Europe as well. It's not going to fly. It's just not going to fly. People are saying, well, NATO, defend yourselves in future. People are that worried about this behavior. They're saying, probably best if we just walk away from each other because this behavior is not normal. It's not normal. And I know you're Americans. I know you love your president, you love your country, but you should love your country and your constitution before you love a man. This is not normal. This is not healthy, and this is not safe. It just isn't. And forget the crookery. Forget Kushner getting $200 billion from the Arab states as a wealth management fund that he personally manages. Forget that. We're not going to talk about that. Or the other things that Barron Trump's managed to acquire. He's only a young lad. Forget all of that and forget the manipulation of the markets where Trump makes an announcement and then the markets crash and then some of his friends buy billions of pounds worth of stock. And then he says, no, it's all going to be okay now. The markets go up and they sell. Forget all of that, which is rank criminality, grifting, corruption. Okay? Let's forget about that. But this mad stuff, I just don't know how else to put it. I don't know how to dress this up. I can't dress it up. If I dressed up, I'd be a lion. I'd be telling you less than the truth. So I've got to tell you, whether it upsets you or it doesn't upset you, I have to tell you the truth. Because I know fine well that in a month or a couple of months, you'll see. I was telling you the truth. You might think, Jim's a traitor. I'm no traitor. Let me tell you something. I love the American people. And I know you're going to suffer with this. You're worried about gas being £4 a gallon, $4 a gallon. It's $4 a litre here. And you'll be the same. Even though you're self-sufficient, that's not how it works. It's not how it works. The money's set internationally. So it's going to keep going up and up and up and up and up. And if there's serious damage done tonight, I don't know if you understand what that means. If we smash their infrastructure and Iran smashes the other infrastructure, the Gulf states, which they said they would do, if they take out the desalination plants, the whole of Arabia and all the countries attached to it are uninhabitable. 95% of the water is from desalination plants. It's over. And you don't repair that in 2 weeks with a bunch of engineers in from the Royal Navy. It takes years to replace them. So it won't happen. So you'll have millions of refugees on the go. And if America smashes Iran's desalination plants, well, you're going to have 90 million refugees on the go. 90 million. You've no idea how this is going to affect the world. It's insanity. And there's enough damage already been done to oil production now that the petrodollar is on its last legs. And China now, because of all this, China has now introduced a system of payment where they don't accept the dollar anymore. They only accept the yuan, and they've got this new system they've invented, and everybody like India and Pakistan and the African countries are all using it. And it's only a matter of time for everybody starts using it. That means nobody's using the petrodollar. That means the very mechanism that upholds the American capitalist system is gone. It's removed. Today, France just removed its entire gold reserve from the United States of America. Its entire gold reserve, they took it back because they know the petrodollar's finished. So they have removed their gold from American safekeeping. All of it, their national gold, it's gone. Used to be in America, now it's gone. All of it. It's really serious, folks. It's really, really serious. And if I didn't tell you it was so serious, I would not be doing my job. So there we go. I'll leave it to you. It's terrifying. Yep, absolutely. It's very frightening. Anyway, moving on. That's enough of that. But we'll see tonight. What happens. Anyway, I showed you the other day this wood we're waiting on for the floors, right? There it's there. Well, I eventually got samples. It may come last week, but I don't know what he's thinking of. There it's there. There it's there. Do you like that, man? There it's there. But look how thick it is. I mean, this is laminate, but look how thick that laminate is. It's 12 mil. It's half an inch. I didn't even know you got laminate that thick. Do you think that's weird? Do you think that's weird, folks? Half-inch thick laminate? Really?
Last longer, didn't it?
Last longer? I mean, I don't know. It's bizarre. Anyway, I was thinking about this because we got it at a good price, but I'm not too keen in the colour. But anyway, let me click it together. Let me see if I can do it. Where is it? How do you click this together? Obviously, I'm never going to make a fitter. But anyway, there we go. So it's like that. That's it. So it goes together like that. Oh dear. And that's it there. So what do you think of that colour? Do you like that, folks? What do you think it? Oh, I've got it back to front, upside down and everything. Wait a minute. What am I doing here? Ah, that's it. Sorry, folks. This is stupidity. How do you work this? That's it. No, that's not it. That must be it. That is it. That's it there. Okay. So I don't think it is, but anyway. That's roughly it. What do you think of the colour? Do you like it? What do you think it is? Half an inch thick. I don't know. What do you think? Half an inch thick? I've never seen laminate that thick, to be quite honest with you. It's normally 8 mil. If Iran's nuclear power stations are destroyed, no desalination plant in the Gulf will be able to remain in production. That alone will destroy the whole Middle Eastern hydrocarbon industry. 100%. I don't think people are getting this. And I don't mean to be disrespectful. Every time I speak to an American about it, I'm talking about good people. They go, yeah, it's like, yeah, go on the Lakers or go on the... It's like a Super Bowl match. I don't think anybody's any idea how serious this is. And it's probably already done enough damage to upset the whole world's economy for the next 5 or 6 years. People just are not getting this. I don't know why they're not getting it. I really don't know why people aren't getting this. But they'll get it soon enough, that's for sure. Right, so yesterday, as I said, we had the big parades. The Republican, the Irish, here's the thing now. And I'll go into this. Another thing I want to mention is people are saying there's a lot of sectarianism in the White House. They had an Easter sermon and it was Pete Hesketh and that mad witch, and they were all doing some service and there was no Catholics invited. Well, let me tell you something. I'm a Protestant, but I am appalled at that. And there is an anti-Catholic sentiment sneaking about that White House, and it's mainly Paula White and Hesketh. I'd say Hesketh more than Paula White. She doesn't care as long as you get her money. She's pal of anybody. She doesn't care. But this is not acceptable. This is not acceptable any way, shape, or form. And it needs to be looked at. And one of the few Catholic people who were on that committee for religious liberties was basically bullied off it because she was a Roman Catholic and she wasn't a Zionist. And, I see Milo. Do you remember Milo? It used to run about with Tommy Robinson and all that. Milo's saying, it's now a war. It's between the Protestants with the Jews. They're together. And the Catholics will stand with the Muslims. This has nothing to do with Catholics versus Protestants. Because let me tell you something. There is no historical confessional Protestant denomination in the world that supports Israel. None. The Anglicans don't support Israel. The Calvinists don't support Israel. The proper Reformed Baptists don't support Israel. The Episcopalians don't support Israel, the Lutherans don't support Israel. No. What you're talking about is Paula White's crackpot, loony, evangelifish lunatics. They support Israel, but they're not Protestants. So there's nothing to do with a fallout between Protestants and Catholics. Protestants and Catholics, real Protestants, real Catholics are completely united. We are one in this matter. 100%. 100%. And the Pope recently spoke out against people having a go at the Trump administration about invoking the name of God to launch these bloodthirsty wars. So there is no Protestants supporting Israel. There is no Protestants siding with Israel against the Catholics. But there are evangelicals who some people think are Protestants. They're not Protestants at all. That mad crowd are definitely siding. And Pete Hesketh goes to a so-called Reformed church. It's not Reformed at all. The guy runs it. What's his name? What's the name of the guy with the beard guy? The Christian nationalist guy. Doug Wilson. Doug Wilson's a Zionist. I never knew this. Recently, Jada Franson told me. I says, no, I don't believe you, Jada. She says, look at it. He's a Zionist. You cannot be Reformed and be a Zionist. If you think who our church fathers were, Luther and Calvin, anybody knows their views on Judaism and all that. They're quite well known. They're quite well published. You cannot be Reformed and be a Zionist. It's impossible. So Doug Wilson is not Reformed, but he's probably took a shekel. Very disappointed to see that. Very disappointed indeed. How you doing, Ken? God bless you. Anyway, I'm going to show you stuff. So to keep things simple, in Ireland, there's two communities. There's the Catholic community and there's the Protestant community. But the Catholic community is no longer the Catholic community. They're sort of Marxist. It basically splits down. The Catholic community is 99% left-wing socialist to varying degrees and then going into Marxism and real crazy left stuff. The Protestants are right-wing to varying degrees, from liberal right-wing right through to mujahideen, right-wing religious fanatics you've got them in America like hillbillies. Not. So that's where we are in Ireland. So on Easter, we do our own parades. So I'm going to show you, first of all, the big, they say they're Catholics. They're not. They're Republicans. They are not like your Republicans. They are Marxist fanatics. And you'll see by their banners, it's China banners and USSR banners and all these weird banners. They've got flags for Venezuela, Che Guevara, South Africa. Oh, that's gay rights, you name it. But this is their parade. And masked up in very militaristic communist attire. So this was on Saturday in Belfast and the Falls Road, and then after I'll show you our parade yesterday in a wee town. So this parade used to be a Corpus Christi parade. This used to be a Catholic parade with all the wee kids dressed in white, and the priest would come out with a monstrance and the wafer, and they'd have the canopy over it, and it was a Catholic religious thing. The communists have wiped that out now. Sinn Féin IRA have wiped that out. There is no Catholic processions now in the Catholic area of Belfast. They've replaced it with this, and I don't like it. I would much rather see the Corpus Christi parade with the priests and the nuns and the monks and the wee kids all dressed in white than this garbage. Have a look.
I'd probably be going up the West Avalon and passing on.
Very different.
I think as much as we can expect people to stomach, what a load of nonsense. And this is the people who supposedly beat the British because their hands were tied. You know, we knew who all these leaders were. We knew who they were. The SAS could have took them out overnight. Done. But instead of that, we indulged them. And that's the nonsense we've got now. So the religious parades are gone. The Corpus Christi's gone. And this is what's replaced it. And these people despise the Catholic Church far more than a rabid, crazed Protestant ever did. This is the problem. It's a disgrace to have these people in the street. And it's a criminal offence to have you dressed in paramilitary attire in this country. A criminal offence. And if we tried it, they would arrest us. But because of them, they got away with it. And that's a lot of them were elevated because of people like Tip O'Neill and Joe Biden. Yes, they were great friends to these people. Unbelievable. Anyway, by contrast, folks, by contrast, here's our people, my people, out the next day in Ballymoney, which is just up the road. I think Nick's been there. Yes, he's been there. Jade has been there. So here's our people. Tell me what you think. What one would you rather come down your street? And there was 75 Ray-Bans out the other day, yesterday. And that's the difference between godless, Marxist, socialist, commie, pinkos, and right-wing, conservative, Christian people. Big difference. Huge difference. Yep. Big difference. So, and very good indeed. Anyway, we're running out of time here because I've been ranting and raving. In Spain, they had a celebration for Easter, and they normally blow up Judas Iscariot. They have a big effigy of Judas Iscariot, and they blow Judas Iscariot up every year. This year, they decided to change Judas Iscariot to Benjamin Netanyahu. Have a look. If only. But good, isn't it? Oh, Ken Wood says, question, how come there are boys who are baton twirlers and no girls? Because that's the way it is. That's the way it's always been. The boys do it as they get older, they get really good at it and do somersaults. It's a very macho thing. Although we did have a girl here a few years ago. Do you remember her quite well? We had a girl with a big long ponytail. And she was brilliant, but it's mainly a male thing. The whole thing is a male thing. It's a very macho thing. The women carry the flags, and everything else is male dominated. And because the person at the front with the stick is the sort of front man of the band, that's what they do. If you look in America, when you've got the Irish bands on Paddy's Day, all the Irish bands, the string bands and the trumpets and that all marching about Philadelphia and that, there's always a guy at the front dressed up, didn't he, doing all this? Always a guy at the front of the Irish bands in America, in Philadelphia and that. Yeah, Paddy's Day. You look at America, the front of all the bands, it's always a bloke. Same here. So there we go. That's the reason for that, Ken. Yes. Strange, isn't it? Now, what else did I want to show you? I wanted to show you something before we quickly go. What is this? In Lebanon, another thing that people aren't reporting at the moment, there's been 1 million people displaced in Lebanon. 1 million people. And about 250,000 of them are Christians being displaced. Whole villages leveled. Israel's pushed the border up a couple of 100 miles and said, you're not coming back here. You're not getting displaced. You're being expelled. Christians, expelled. You're not coming back. They're blowing up all the houses, blowing up all the villages. You're not coming back. We're taking this as a buffer zone. Meant to be against Hezbollah, but they're clearing out all the Christians as well. But despite that, here are Lebanese Christians celebrating Easter. And pray for these people because they're up against such pressures because they've got it on one side for the Hezbollah and the Muslims, and the other side they're getting it from the IDF and Israel and the Jews. There's a sandwich here. So pray for these people, please. Have a wee look at our brothers and sisters in the Lebanon.
الذي علق الأرض على المياه اليوم.
Isn't that wonderful? That despite the pressures they're under, despite maybe losing homes and family being killed and all the rest of it, they're still out doing the thing. They're still declaring for Jesus Christ. And I think we can learn a lot in this part of the world from these things. I think we could learn an awful lot. So there we are. We might have them always soon because if this thing goes the way Trump's talking about, it might go tonight. There might be 100 million refugees heading our way. But I don't know. I personally think the deal's done and Trump's just trying to do a bit of bravado and say, look, I sorted them out. The deal's already been done because he knows he can't win this. He can't win it. It's not possible. I think he knows that. So I think this is a bit of bravado and then there'll be a deal done at midnight tonight. Hopefully. Let's pray to God that that's the case. Let's pray to God that's the case. But whatever, the damage is done now to the reputation worldwide. And I'm embarrassed and I feel sorry for my American brothers and sisters because I'm sure you must look at this and think, what is going on? Anybody who thinks this is good is mad. It's not good at all. It's crazy stuff. But anyway, I hope you understand my frankness today, because I would not be doing my duty as a Templar, as a representative of this show and all the rest of it, if I soft-soaped you and just told you what you want to hear. Things are bad, and things can get incredibly bad. And there's probably enough already been done to make things bad for the next 4 or 5 years. But if this goes wrong tonight, all bets are off. Their way of life is in serious pressure. And people say if it came to an all-out war between America and Russia and China, America might win. Nobody wins that war. Nobody wins that war. Remember this. Within living memory, the Chinese lost 50 million people. 50 million. 50 million people. Their country was totally devastated by the Japanese. Russia lost 30 million people in the Second World War. 30 million. Whole country devastated. And a generation before that, the Bolsheviks totally destroyed the country. So they're used to living in caves. They're used to living with no heating, with no food, with people dying. They're used to that. So is the Chinese. We ain't. So if it came to a war, it comes down to a war of attrition. Who can suffer the most? And it ain't us. We've got air conditioning units. We've got televisions and sports centres, and we play golf and all the rest of it. Most of these people don't do any of that, and they can buckle down. They can eat cats, dogs, and rats, and would quite gladly do so. So nobody wins that war. And I pray to God that sound minds would prevail, and that God in his infinite mercy would reach down and just touch people right now, especially in the White House administration, and give wisdom, calmness, and direction to the people there. And God would grab Paula White by the scruff of her neck, or even her throat. That'd be better. Shut her up. Grab Paula White by her throat and march her to the White House lawn and throw her out there. Preferably build a stake and deal with the way we used to deal with witches. But anyway, we'll leave that to the Lord. But that's what needs to happen. Okay. So on that note, I'm going to leave you with a lovely song. You remember Ken Wood and some of the older boys will remember this. Maguire, his name was. I can't remember his first name, but Maguire. And it's an old war song, and a good war song from the old days. So I'm sure, I won't tell you what it is, I'll just put it on, and I'm sure you'll recognise it. So, without messing about, I shall hopefully, in the will of God, if we're still here, I shall see you again on Thursday. Mr. Griffin will be on me tomorrow, again, providing Trump doesn't actually wipe out an entire civilization tonight. Your time, 1 o'clock, our time, 1 o'clock in the morning. Your time, I think it's 6 or 8 p.m. or something like that. So we shall see. If we're all still here this week, I shall be back on Thursday. Nick will be with you tomorrow. But in a serious note, please pray for calm, sensible minds to take control of the situation in all sides, whether it be in Iran with the crazy mullahs, or whether it be in the White House with some of the crazy people there as well. Okay, let's just pray that sense and decency and righteousness would prevail. Okay, I'm going to leave you with this wonderful song now from the, you'll recognise it right away. So God bless you all, and remember, stick close to God. You won't go far wrong. Do his vote.
The Eastern world, it is exploding. Violence flaring, bullets loading. You're old enough to kill, but not for voting. You don't believe in war, but what's that gun you're toting? And even the Jordan River has bodies floating. But you tell me over and over and over again, my friend, you don't believe we're on the eve of destruction. Don't you understand what I'm trying to say? Can't you feel the fears I'm feeling today? If the button is pushed, there's no running away. There'll be no one to save with the world in a grave. Take a look around you, boy. It's bound to scare you, boy. And you tell me over and over and over again, my friend, you don't believe we're on the eve of destruction. Yeah, my blood's so mad, feels like coagulating. I'm sitting here just contemplating. I can't twist the truth, it knows no regulation. Handful of senators don't pass legislation, and marches alone can't bring integration. When human respect is disintegrating, this whole crazy world is just too frustrating. And you tell me over and over and over again, my friend, you don't believe we're on the eve of destruction. Think of all the hate there is in Red China, then take a look around to Selma, Alabama. You may leave here for 4 days in space, but when you return, it's the same old place. The pounding of the drums, the pride and disgrace. You can bury your dead, but don't leave a trace. Hate your next door neighbor, but don't forget to say grace. And tell me over and over and over and over again, my friend, you don't believe we're on the eve of destruction. No, you don't.